because we have a lot to share. We have some awesome panelists. Can I have everyone's attention? We're going to go ahead and get started. I can feel the energy in here, which is great. I know you guys are here to learn a lot about podcasting, and that's what we're going to share. But we're also going to share kind of where podcasting is going. So not the technical side of it. This is not a podcasting one-on-one workshop. This is a workshop to really share with you the evolution of the podcast and what's now and what's next. My name is Robin Kinney. I am the owner of Motor City Women Studios in Southfield, one of our awesome panelists. In Southfield, we've been in operation for 4 years now. We specialize in digital radio, featuring an all-women-led lineup of show hosts. We stream 24/7 via our mobile app and our website, but we also produce podcasts. We produce audio books, voiceovers, all things audio, pretty much. We've been involved with Startup Week since the inception and seeing how podcasting has evolved over the last few years. I was really excited to put together this workshop to talk about the evolution of the podcast, but also to spotlight two podcasters who I think are trailblazers in the podcasting industry, going from just sitting at a mic and talking about yourself or a certain subject, but actually using podcasting to galvanize a community, to educate, to empower. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So when we started Motor City Woman, it was all about representation. I identified that there was a lack of women in podcasting, still is, and in broadcasting, still is. So we wanted to be intentional on creating space where, women can make their voices heard. So we do this through workshops like these, through having a platform with Motor City Woman, and then with partnering with a lot of different women-centered and focused organizations. So this is just a snapshot of some of the things that we do, everything from live remote broadcast to different interviews. We do workshops. We did a recording and mixing workshop, which was like a behind the scenes of working inside of a studio in audio engineering. Because another thing that I'm passionate about is increasing the number of women in audio engineering. Audio engineering is something that typically gets left out of the STEM conversation. Everyone talks about other aspects of engineering, but not the audio engineering. And in fact, let's say you're at a concert, most people always say the sound guy, right? It just rolls off your tongue, right? So there's an organization based out of California called Sound Girls, and I am the chair of the Detroit chapter. So we're really intentional about working with young women, just women in general who may be interested in audio engineering and don't know where to start. So we have these free workshops. We do like mentoring and really just opening those doors to kind of plant the seed that audio engineering can be, a career field, and it's a very lucrative industry. So we're really trying to, bridge that gap. So this is one of the workshops that we did inside of a studio, and then working with different organizations. Jessica Care-Moore, working with Black Women Rock, of course. That was a live remote broadcast. But tonight we're focusing just on the podcast aspect, where we were, where we are now, and where we're going. So one of the questions that I typically get from people is, well, how do we get here? How did podcasts get to where it is now, where it's still, bumbling under the surface? You're seeing more and more people saying, I have a podcast. But really in other parts of the country, podcasting is way more big, I'll say, bigger than here in the Metro Detroit area. But the reason podcasting, in my opinion, is so popular is because we're on this on-demand trend. Everyone wants everything right now. And we don't want to click 3 buttons to get to it. We want to click one button, really. If we can get it down to one step, that's even better. But also the need for speed and content. So you have all these content creators. That was a whole new industry, a content creator. And so they're looking for content. They're looking for people to be thought leaders, to have an opinion on something, to share their expertise. So an easy way to do that is to have your own podcast. And one of my predictions is that eventually there'll be an overarching authority when it comes to podcasts. Right now it's the Wild